Hi guys, and welcome to lesson 2, where we're going to be talking about how to plan to succeed or plan to fail. Now the objective of this lesson is to teach you how to cook for fat loss. And the outcome for the lesson is we want to show you how to set up your environment so it yields permanent results long term. You see, the secret is out. When we're talking about nutrition, we're never really talking about food. Pushing all of our beliefs aside, we know that nutrition is all to do about with what you know, what you've grown up with, and what you believe in. That's why we haven't given you a meal plan as such, got you to follow along a specific plan, because we know that that doesn't work for everyone, and you know that that doesn't work. See, we've laid it out for you this way because we know this way just works. Everyone who's operating in a lean body, feeling great about themselves, having energy, sleeping well at night, and ultimately feeling really good about their skin and healthy, operates this way. They set up their environment for long-term success. That means actually applying themselves and putting time in the kitchen week after week to getting it done. Now, those of us that aren't feeling great in our skin, that ultimately don't have the self-confidence, aren't happy with how we look, and don't like seeing ourselves naked in the mirror, we operate differently, and that's okay. But just to give you an idea of how we operate, is most of us skip breakfast, and this comes from the habit of not getting enough sleep. See, what we know is if you don't get enough sleep, ultimately our hormones will release different stress hormones, and therefore we won't be hungry in the morning, and therefore we'll snack at night. So if we can get that habit right and start setting our environment up for success, we have food there on hand, number one. Number two, we also know for a lot of us who are busy working is that we tend to fall in the habit of going to the shops late at night or after work and just being in a rush. And what happens there is the proximity rule kicks in. That's when we know when you're tired, starving, hungry, you'll put whatever in your basket that's quick and easy that just gets eaten because your brain just needs energy. So the purpose of this lesson and the way it's structured is to rattle the cage, challenge your thinking, but more importantly is just to let the beliefs go and give this a go. Because we know, as I said before, this works. If you set up your environment, that includes your environment at home, so in the kitchen, your fridge, your pantry, and you set up your work environment, which you'll do second, in terms of setting up your lunch area, so you're making sure you've got food readily available by following this system, not only will it lead to greater habits and you feeling better about yourself, improving the inside, which therefore will improve the outside, you'll ultimately become healthier and happier, and you'll save yourself tons of time as well. So what you need to do is you need to go onto mpbody.com. Now all the details of this lesson are below, so you can have a look how we've done it and how we prep our food in the video below. You can also go below to see exactly the steps laid out of where to log on to and to find these recipes. But for the sake of this video, I'm going to show you how to do it very, very quickly. So you need to log on to mpbody.com, you need to click on the blogs tab, and then click on what do I eat. Now this is a public website that anyone can log on to. You just need to scroll through the recipes, just have a look at what you'd like to eat. Now, another rule of thumb that you can take away from this video is if you don't like something in the recipes, all you need to do is just replace it. Everything's in there for a very specific reason, so try not to just leave everything out. Just learn to replace it with a different vegetable or something else that you like or prefer. Once you've got 1 to 2 different recipes that you like, all you need to do is just jot it down on a piece of paper or type it into your phone. You need to allow the time to then go to the shops and grab all the items from those recipes. Once we grab the items, obviously bringing them home, we need to schedule the time in our day to actually cook this stuff. Now, below in the page, we'll talk about some of the tools that you can use that obviously will help those people that are time poor, but things like slow cookers and woks, slow cookers are a man's best friend. So all you need to do is just chuck everything on, turn it on overnight, bang, you've got 6 to 8 meals done in the morning. And another one, the wok or the hot pan, really good to cook eggs, omelettes and things like that on there, and also stir fries that are really quick and easy. So you need to block this time out to actually cook it. Once you've cooked it, you put it in containers and bang, it goes in the fridge, and that's how you create the environment for success. Now obviously you need to take action on this stuff. You need to get it done so the food doesn't go in the crisper and you procrastinate. But as I alluded to before, these are the principles that everyone who's walking the earth leaner and healthier does on a continual basis, week after week. Now, is it hard? Of course it is. But what we know is that it's harder to feel terrible within your own skin in terms of how you feel about yourself physically. We know it's harder to go to the shops every day and buy and cook for one meal. So if you can go ahead and give this a go, we'd love to see how you go by posting it in the Facebook post on your weekly task. If you have any questions, sing out. It's pretty self-explanatory. Just go through the videos below. You can see how it's all been put together, and also you can see some of the tools of the trade that you can use to get things done very, very quickly. If you're busy, I guarantee you this will save time. Obviously, it takes a little bit of time, but the more you do it, the quicker and quicker it gets. In terms of kids, will the kids eat this food? You bet they will. Now, how you parent your kids is completely up to you, but what we do is we serve this up for our kids, and kids will be kids. They'll eat it sometimes they won't. But what we know from doing it ourselves and having kids is that kids won't go hungry, so they will eat it eventually. And the other thing I wanted to address on this video was also what happens if you're time poor. As I alluded to before, the things like the slow cookers are fantastic to do because they just don't take much time at all. You flick it on overnight. But at the end of the day, if you just challenge your thinking a little bit, learn to understand that the people who are more successful, moving better, are leaner, as I alluded to before, are doing this. So we want to try and apply that concept long term, and this will help you change a habit that will govern long-term success. So I hope this helps, and I look forward to seeing you in the next video.